Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys finally signed speedy running back after NFL draft surprise, report. The Dallas Cowboys have finally signed a running back, but it may not be the kind of player fans have been hoping for after losing Tony Pollard. KPRC Houston's Aaron Wilson reported that the Cowboys have agreed to terms with former Missouri Tigers running back Nathaniel Peat as an undrafted free agent. The news comes after the Cowboys passed on taking a running back with any of their 2024 NFL draft picks. Cowboys' deal for running back Nate Peat includes $3,000 signing bonus, per a source, Wilson detailed in an April 28, 2024 message on X. What can Cowboys fans expect from Peat? The Athletic's Dane Brugler had Peat rated as his number 43 ranked running back in the 2024 draft class. Peat posted 76 carries for 317 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns in 12 appearances for the Tigers in 2023. The running back spent his first 3 collegiate seasons at Stanford before transferring to Missouri for the final 2 years. One of the pluses for Peat are his athletic traits. Peat ran a 4.32 second time in the 40-yard dash at Missouri's Pro Day and also posted a 41 vertical. It is no secret that the Cowboys had an interest in adding former Texas Longhorns standout Jonathan Brooks. Unfortunately, Brooks was taken by the Carolina Panthers with the number 46 pick, well before Dallas was on the clock at number 56 in the second round. Instead of the Cowboys moving on to the next option on their draft board, Dallas opted to pass on the position entirely. Owner Jerry Jones labeled Brooks' interview with the Cowboys as one of the best he has seen during his tenure in Dallas. "In my 30 years, I thought it was the best interview that I've ever interviewed with a player," Jones said of Brooks in an April 26 press conference after round 1. "He's outstanding, he's just outstanding, and he's a great football player. We got him high, and he's a good player." This came on the eve of Brooks hearing his name called early by the Panthers on day 2 of the draft. Jones does not appear concerned by the team's decision not to add a running back in the draft. The Cowboys owner hinted that the team can still make moves either in free agency or via a trade. "I've seen teams win the Super Bowl with running backs that they traded for mid-season," Jones explained during an April 27 press conference following the draft. "So, the point is that this thing's a long way from being over as to how you're going to line up against X next fall. For now, Peat will be fighting to make the final roster on a team that includes Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, Royce Freeman and Malik Davis." Dallas could also bring back a familiar face as ESPN's Todd Archer reported that talks are progressing on a deal with Ezekiel Elliott. NFL Draft 2024, how big, physical Kalen Carson fits Cowboys defense. The Dallas Cowboys chose former Wake Forest cornerback Kalen Carson in the 5th round of the 2024 NFL Draft, with the number 1174 overall pick, adding depth to a secondary that produced an All-Pro cornerback last season. "He's a big corner," an NFC scout told Heavy when asked how Carson fits the Cowboys system. "He's physical, but he only has average speed." Last season, Carson, 6 feet and 199 pounds, produced a career-high 42 tackles with 1 tackle for loss while breaking up 8 passes, with 1 forced fumble and 1 fumble recovery. The Cowboys have a strong depth chart at cornerback, with All-Pro Darren Bland coming off a 9-interception season in which he returned 5 for touchdowns and Trayvon Diggs likely returning from a torn ACL. However, Carson can provide quality depth and could allow the Cowboys to let Stephon Gilmore walk via free agency rather than make any sort of 11th-hour overture to bring back the 33-year-old 5-time Pro Bowler. Carson started all 11 games for the Tigers last season, before suffering a toe injury leading into the regular season finale. Across 4 collegiate seasons, Carson produced 120 total tackles with 3 interceptions, 26 pass breakups, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 forced fumbles, and 2.5 tackles for loss. When in press coverage, the Bleacher Report scouting department writes, Carson shows his lateral movement at the line of scrimmage. While working down the field, he does a good job of sinking his hips to match receivers' breaks. Though he has good footwork, he can be out of control at times, causing him to lack the burst needed to compete at the catch point. He also struggles to cover bigger receivers down the field at times, as he lacks the ability to play above the rim. Carson is a more than willing run defender. He makes quick reads and triggers downhill. When taking on blocks, he shows his physicality to shock and control the blocker. While using his hands and short area quickness, he does a very good job of disengaging and getting to the ball. However, he's inconsistent between tackling receivers and running backs. Meanwhile, Pro Football Focus points out that quarterbacks feasted against him, posting a 98.2 passer rating when targeting him, while surrendering 36 receptions and 4 touchdowns in 64 targets. It is entirely possible that the Cowboys view Carson as a nickel cornerback, or even a safety, given that PFF gives him a strong 83.4 run-stopping grade. While the Dallas offseason hasn't lived up to owner Jerry Jones' all-in comments leading into the Senior Bowl, the Cowboys owner has high hopes for first-round offensive tackle Tyler Guyton. You would hope, it is hard to do with offensive linemen, you would hope to have a little sexiness to this pick using your first-round pick, Jerry Jones said, via CBS Sports. I actually thought we had that with Tyler Smith 2 years ago. I think we have it here. This is a sexy pick for an offensive lineman, because he has a lot of upside. I am excited about that. Guyton, 6'7" and 327 pounds, should have the opportunity to replace Tyron Smith at left tackle after allowing just 2 sacks across the last 3 seasons in Norman and going the entire 2023 campaign without surrendering a sack. Ezekiel Elliott has a chance to make Cowboys history. Ezekiel Elliott had an off year, in 2023, to say the least. Elliott averaged just 3.5 yards per carry with the offensively inept Patriots last season, his first outside of Dallas after 7 seasons with the Cowboys. He signed with the Cowboys Monday, meaning he'll have a shot at another illustrious Cowboys record. Ezekiel Elliott has 8,262 rushing yards in a Cowboys uniform and has the chance to be the 3rd player in franchise history to rush for over 10,000 yards with the team, a mark he has at least a reasonable shot of reaching if he stays healthy and on the roster for at least 2 more seasons. The first 2 being Hall of Famers Tony Dorsett and Emmitt Smith. In 11 seasons for the Cowboys, Dorsett rushed for 12,036 yards, adding 85 total touchdowns. Dorsett was a 4-time Pro Bowler and won a Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys. He is famously known for having the first ever 99-yard rushing touchdown. Emmitt Smith is arguably the greatest player to have the star on his helmet. With 8 Pro Bowl selections, 3 Super Bowls, and an MVP, Smith is beloved by Cowboys Nation. Smith totaled 17,162 rushing yards and 164 touchdowns with the Cowboys. One of the best to ever do it, and his record for total career rushing yards will never be broken. Ezekiel Elliott has the chance to join elite company for one of the most decorated franchises in all of sports. Zeke will be back with his best friend Dak Prescott carrying the load for the Cowboys' offense next season. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Zeke Elliott? Leave your opinion in the comments.